Time for business now on the programme. Sean Pellegrin is joining us. We're going to talk about Italy's Prime Minister today, Giorgia Meloni, currently on a visit to China. Trade issues very high on the agenda, aren't they, Sean?
Stuart, China is Italy's second largest non-EU trading partner after the United States. So this is an important relationship to nurture. But Meloni is looking to tread carefully. Last year, she withdrew Italy's participation in China's signature global trade and infrastructure project known as the Belt and Road Initiative, calling it a serious mistake because of perceived imbalances that favor Beijing over any other signatories to that pact, and also aligning herself with Washington and Brussels. So Italy is now looking to boost trade ties with China outside of that framework. Last year, two-way trade between Italy and China was worth around 60 billion euros, but 41 billion euros of that was made of Chinese exports to Italy, while Italian goods heading to China were only worth about 19 billion euros. That's why she took part in an Italy-China business forum on Sunday with companies like tire maker Pirelli, an energy group Eni, or a fashion brand Dolce & Gabbana, all looking to increase their sales and presence in the Middle Kingdom. And that's also why Italy and China signed a 3-year economic cooperation deal on sectors like electric vehicles and renewable energy. Let's listen into Meloni speaking to President Xi Jinping on Monday.
With this trip, we are launching a 3-year action plan that we've signed with the government that defines the next 3 years of our bilateral cooperation, with the aim of enhancing the work that we've already done, but also exploring new forms of cooperation, while at the same time working towards a balancing of trade relations. And from this point of view, I think that Italy can also play an important role in relations with the European Union, and also here with the attempt to create trade relations that are as balanced as possible.
Well, Giorgia Meloni says that Rome can work as some kind of mediator between Beijing and the European Union.
That same trade imbalance that exists between Italy and China exists between China and the wider EU bloc. And it's been even more accentuated in the post-COVID years, as weak domestic demand in China means that producers there are increasingly looking overseas to sell the goods they are unable to sell at home. And this is what's been defined as overcapacity. And this is what has partly led the EU to launch a probe and set provisional tariffs on Chinese electric cars entering the common market, which it considers are sold at unfairly low prices. In retaliation, China has launched its own investigations into EU products that it considers could be too low in price, pork, for instance. So on this trip, Meloni has positioned herself as being able to mediate discussions and potentially avert a trade war, but that could be tricky, as Meloni doesn't hold a huge amount of sway on EU trade policy. She had voted against EU Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen, her renomination. And while she is trying to patch things up with Xi Jinping, she's also been a vocal supporter of the EU tariffs on Chinese EVs. And under her watch, a Chinese state-owned company was stopped from taking full control of Italian tire-making giant Pirelli. All of which will make her goal of being a bridge between the EU and China, or her goal of boosting Italy-China trade that much harder.
Sean, thanks very much. Sean Pellegrin with the business news here on France 24.